Let's continue our work with the CEO dataset. Upon importing a dataset, you want to observe the variable names. If you notice that they're named with not meaningful names or the default names could be refined, consider renaming the columns. To rename the variables in a data frame or a table, we can use the names function. Instead of capitalized age and salary in our CEO dataset, we can make them lowercase. We could either hard code the new names or use the function called toLower to transform all those variable names into lowercase. We can view the output by using the head function. Here we'll see the first 5 rows of data. Renaming variable names makes graphing easier too. You don't have to remember what the variables are named, whether they're uppercase or lowercase, and then the X and Y labels will be nicely formatted for you. Here's an example. Reordering columns. For whatever reason, you may need to reorder your columns. There are 2 ways to do this: reorder by column name or reorder by column index. Way 1, reorder by column name. In this case, you would reference the actual column by its name and sequence it in the order that you wish. Here, we're putting salary before age. Way 2, reorder by column index. In this case, you would reference the actual column by the column number and sequence it in the order that you wish. Here, we're putting the first column first, the third one second, and the second one third. In our CEO dataset, we're putting the second column first and the first column second. Tables. Tables are useful for seeing summaries of your data. Use the table function and pass in the variable to be summarized. Here we're showing a summary of all the ages tabulated by age category, showing 2 plots at once. Let's create a variable that we can reference for our chart color. We'll use a hexadecimal value for a color called modern cyan. Here we're assigning that value to a variable called chart color. Next, we're going to create the charts. We assign the ggplot calls to variables, specifically hist_salary and hist_age. Now let's arrange the charts side by side. We can do this using the plot grid function from the cowplot package. Here, we pass into 2 variables, hist_age and hist_salary, into the plot grid function to see the graphs plotted side by side. Formatting numbers. In the previous example, the x-axis is cut off, and the values need 1,000 comma separators. Just reassign the hist_salary ggplot call to another function called scale_x_continuous. And then we're going to set the parameter label equals sales : comma. Now, replot using plot grid. Next, let's remedy cutoff values. You'll notice the x-axis is slightly cut off. A way to remedy this is to set the max value of the x-axis to be slightly higher using the limits parameter scale_x continuous function. We need to set the minimum value and the maximum value. We'll use the min function to set the minimum, and then we'll set the max value to 1500. Now let's replot it. You can see the refined data presentation. The next step is to apply these tactics to your own messy data sets. Have fun!